Nick Noback taking the win at the Riverside 50K competition at Englishtown Raceway Park. Today we're going to review all of the battles that Nick had on his way to the top of the podium today on the breakdown. We're going to get right into it here. We're going to see first battle we have lined up.
Alright, we have the next battle. Noback, absolutely.
Nick doing a really good job on outer zone 1. Really like the transition going into outer zone 2. Carries the momentum. Lanes gets a little lost in the sauce. Drops a couple tires. Really good job of getting her clip 2 by Noback. You can just see he's keeping the momentum on the correct line. That's what we're looking for. You know. Big ups to lanes though. Like that's not an easy at this level, this isn't an easy thing to follow, you know what I mean? There's a lot going on here, trying to calculate cutting through the smoke. Does make a big error going in. Noback looking Noback. Carrying momentum, entering all of the zones right where you want them. For me, keeping the momentum. I was one of the judges, so I really like seeing the drivers keeping momentum, going into all of the outer zones. It was really enjoyable to watch Noback out there. He was really getting a feel for it, as well as a lot of the drivers.
And here's the second half of this battle. Lance will lead and Noback will chase. Let's see if he can replicate that.
Good job getting into outer zone 1.
Does fill outer zone number 1 really nice.
Noback, good transition, follows in, dials in.
As Noback reels him in.
Drops couple. Oh.
Well, as we were talking about earlier in the top 6
rough.
before, unfortunately, when you get super
big ups to Lanes. You know, he knew he had to go in hard. He knew he was against the wall. He had to pull a rabbit out of the hat. Does a really good job going into outer zone 1. I'm gonna give him that. Transition was good. Lining himself up really good for outer zone 2. Noback was just right there rocking out. Drops a tire, 2 tires. It's rough. So obviously there, Noback is going to end up moving on, but it was a hell of a lead up until that point by Lanes. He was doing a really good job, really going into outer zone 2, really nice, and then he just got a little wide here. Had that not been the case, I don't know. I think Noback still would have gotten it, but based on that run, no, look at Noback, buddy. He's in practice. He was, first of all, like in practice, he was just chill. He was just like, he didn't even take practice. Like he took limited laps. I think he took the least amount of laps of everybody. Very calculated. He saw that we were complimenting a lot of the drivers because there was a lot of dudes that were killing it. And he told me at one point, he was like holding my beer. Obviously, he didn't have a beer on him. Next thing I know, he goes out there doing his practice run and like lays down a heater of a practice run, like inches away from the wall. Like, needless to say, Noback was just like really feeling it, man. He was really looking good. We got Nick Noback and Rad Dan. Rad Dan was looking really good too. Big ups to Rad Dan. He was looking really good out there.
Noback turning on the underglow for style.
It's really cool to see.
You love to see it.
It's really cool to see the Supra.
He's putting it all on the line here, literally as the arms are down and away they go.
2 stand-up drivers.
Brad Dan jumping the start just a little bit to try
good initiation by Noback. Look at that.
So fast. Super aggressive and smooth entry there by Noback. Brad Dan doesn't have to get on the side there.
Yeah.
Potentially a bobble, but he's on the door of Noback as they're heading to
big ups to Rad Dan. Gets right back into the pocket again. Noback doing what needs to be done. That was good. That was good. But yeah, you can see here in the replay, we're going to see
that might have been the smokiest battle of
big error comes in right.
We can see the replay here.
Right at that point.
Shooting some flames. Couple corrections in his position behind and Noback.
Now and that's it. And Noback is just on. Look at him go.
He came to win.
He
But
is
Rad Dan is not
just
going to let him
on
get away
one.
that easy.
But again, big ups to Rad Dan. He got right back into the pocket. Definitely put up a fight.
Nick Noback give chase.
Nick Noback's job was to finish the run. So, by him getting back in there and putting some pressure on him, you never know. You can get someone to do things they don't want to do.
And away they go. Dan Burkett will lead, and Nick Noback will chase.
Oh, straight there was a restart on this one.
We do have some lights for a false start that the drivers can see. It's actually aimed directly at our drivers.
Really
so you
good.
guys might not be able to pick that up on the live stream.
Yeah, throughout the entire practice, I can tell you in the beginning, people were kind of just getting used to maybe the track conditions and stuff like that. Maybe I think they were a little bit different than maybe in
The
FD.
chase driver can kind of do whatever they want as long as they
Just because the
leave
sheer amount of
driver
tires that are
enough
getting
room
laid
to
down on this track.
But we want a nice
But progressively,
clean
as
start, and we want the
practice
drivers
came
as
to a
close as
close,
possible on and entry to
a lot of
guys,
these
a
guys
nice,
were killing it. I mean,
beautiful tandem
there was
to enjoy at
there was
home. So
easily
we're gonna put
16
those
dudes that were
drivers back
actually
in the lead
just
chase
murdering
front
this
row
track.
again.
You know what I mean? But Nick,
I will
throughout the
note
entire
that
day, for whatever reason,
no starts is
when you
a
would see him go
0.
take laps, he
So we need
just
a nice, clean
he had that
start
little
here.
extra.
And we have it. Dan Burkett entering right in the
Damn.
middle of that 3-2-1.
Good job going to outer zone 1. Could have been a little bit deeper. Good trend. He was doing really good transitions. Noback is just getting right into the pocket, man. Look at that. Right into the pocket, setting it, doing a good job of anticipating when to do the transition. Oh!
Catching some wall.
Yeah. Little scrapey.
I could have sworn I saw some dirt there. I'm going to need to see the replay. That was an aggressive chase and an equally aggressive
definitely an
lead
aggressive
by
chase.
Dan Burkett. I can't wait for that replay.
Let's go right back into it here. We can see Noback goes good with the transition. Dyer's right back in. That's what I really enjoy that. Really calculating good.
Today, but unfortunately, only one is going to move on. I am curious to see what's happening as they come
Transition
to
here.
number 3 with Noback in the chase.
Noback hits the wall a little bit.
It
Doesn't
looks
straighten
like a
though.
clean run. I don't believe there was any contact there from the angle that
And then we look in the front run over here.
That dirt. But we will
A little bit
see
too
what
much
the
of a
judges
straighten.
think. The judges are going to take a look at this side by side.
Goes into the pocket again. Really good job on Rad Dan's part by putting the pressure on him, because Noback's job at that point is to finish this run. He can't just stop automatic. No, he has to keep on going. So that was good tactic.
It is official.
Can't give up.
We have a decision. Nick Noback will get the win.
So Nick Noback
gets the win,
moves on.
and he will move on to the next battle.
Again, really good job by Rad Dan. He was one of the drivers that was doing an absolutely amazing job in practice toward the end. Again, there was just this room was doing a really good job too. Who else? Beecham was doing a really good job. Josiah was doing a good job. Derek was doing a good job. You know. Now the thing is, I think when the track conditions change, because now the sunset, there was a huge break between top 64, then top 32 was like 3 hours, and then everyone's pretty much cold at that point. You know what I mean? Now they're going into battle again. The track has definitely changed. It's probably gripped up a lot more. So a lot of things that the drivers had to kind of overcome, in addition to now everything being a little bit different. You know what I mean?
Noback looking super aggressive, and maybe a strategy, but decided not to take his bye runs earlier today.
Yeah. So we told a lot of the drivers, like, listen, if you have a bye run, you don't have to go and drift the bye run. I don't think they should be wasting their tires on it. I totally get it. So Noback would just go out, come back in. Good initiation. Good job going into outer zone 1. Good transition. Outer zone 2 on the money. Oof. Naren was looking really good too, man. Good dive. Noback right where he needs to be. Naren putting the pressure on, man. Naren was looking good. Naren was another one. Naren was out there. I don't know if he did some suspension changes or something. But
are getting excited for this battle. We love to see it. Let's take a look at the
Naren,
replay.
A little shallow in outer zone 1 in the chase. Noback gave him the room. Noback is here giving him the room. Naren takes advantage of it. Definitely gets into fire. A little bit of bump. Props to Noback for just keeping it going, chooching along. An amazing dive by Naren here, trying to put the pressure on. Noback is on one, man. He is just on one.
let's flip him around and let Marin lead and Noback chase him down.
And we're going to switch him around here. Yeah, I don't know if Marin has done some changes to his car, but his car just looks a lot more settled, a lot more balanced.
This battle pans out. Marin leading and
Good job. Marin does a really good job in outer zone 1.
Looking super fast across the center.
Zone 2 is a little not so much. Marin, just look at Noback. Oh, stay in it. Marin doing his job. Good transition. Reeling again. Noback, a little bit of a bobble. Little wide, stays on throttle.
Giving it up for these guys out here tonight. The judges are going to take a look at the side-by-side, and they will award a winner. Only one can move
Let's go here to a replay.
To the final 4.
I like that. I love that car. All right, so here, Marin does a really good job in outer zone 1. Transition goes in. Marin a little shot on outer zone 1 on the chase. Noback, that wasn't as bad as I thought. Goes into the transition. Here comes the real game. All the way in. Beautiful view. Look at that. Both of them were on. Definitely like the line that Noback took better. I like the fluidity in the transition. These are just things that obviously I was just one of the 3 judges, so we're all looking at things that are a little bit favorable. A couple things I like that Marin did.
The judges are taking a closer
and a couple of things that I like that Noback was doing as well too.
Make sure they see a standout driver, and if not, it will go one more time. And we have our crowd chanting for a one more time here, and I promise it is not swaying the judges because one of them is ruled for Noback.
There's a lot to digest there. Look at the dives.
Say it's going to be a
Marin, I like how Marin gets back into the line.
Back to the pits, change your tires, we're running them again.
One more time there. Now, there's a lot to digest there. There's a lot to give and take on both sides. Ultimately, we went with the one more time in this battle. Had Marin not have been a little bit better on outer zone 1, it probably would have swayed me. And maybe would have swayed the other judges as well too. That was probably one of the biggest issues I had when it came to the chase. But needless to say, it was a good battle.
Because he already used it. And we have a Noback
now,
here.
unfortunately,
in true Noback fashion, we saw him do this earlier. He is not
Marin had an issue. He came to me after the competition and told me that he had an issue with like the head and stuff like that. And in between runs, he was trying to burp the system and try to get everything going. He was just like, dude, I just couldn't get it done in time. And unfortunately, he ran out of time. Noback moves on. That's how it goes, you know. You can be skilled, you can have all that stuff, but you know, any one of these drivers will tell you that it takes more than just skill to be out here. You know, you have to have a team. You have to have a little bit of luck. There's a lot of things that go into play when it comes to these big competitions. You know what I mean?
All right, we have a clean start here, and away
now,
we go. And Nick Noback is in the lead.
Look at that. Noback just giving it. Haley was looking really good too. Oh, cutting the line a little bit there. But these are two veteran drivers that really understand the game. Look at that. Haley really good at calculating that dive. Look at that. Now, Noback doing his job. Running a really good lead line. Really like that. Allowing Haley to really position the car where it needs to be. Noback does a really good job here going into outer zone 2. Haley cuts the line a little bit. Gets right back into the pocket again. Just lights him up. Starts to match angle. Like it. Calculates the dive, really like that. Noback just Noback was a machine. At one point during practice, like Noback was on such a chill level that he started watching F1 and he was like, "Yo, check it out." And we were up there just watching F1, bro. We were up there just watching F1 while drifting was going on in the background. That's the mindset that Noback was on. Straight kill mode. He wasn't fazed by anyone in practice or anything. He was up there just chilling, waiting to go out there and do it.
46 is leaving the line now. Only one will advance. Haley entering super early in that
Haley missing outer zone 2. Transitions out. Noback dives in. Back into the pocket again. Oh, a little bit of bump. Props to Haley for staying in it, man. Good. Oh, I like that though. I really like the way Haley went into outer zone 3. That was nice. I really like that.
There you have it. I think that was the best.
You can see. You can see significant things that certain drivers do that let you know like they've been in the game for a while. You can see here, yeah, outer zone 1 definitely missed by Haley. Haley being able to get right back into the pocket again. Noback just chasing really good. Good lead lines on both parts. Really like it. Like the aggressiveness from Noback. Like the sheer experience that you can see from Haley. And so you can see right there, Haley just kind of misses that a little bit. A little bit of a cut. So when you start to see a lot of these corrections and the things that miscalculations that some of these drivers do, that's how we kind of come to our conclusion on who gets to win. You know, it's not always unanimous. I will say that throughout the competition, there was a lot of times where I thought one thing, one judge said one more time, and then the other judge went completely the other way. So there is diversity there, and that's why you have 3 people up there. Now, we have Noback going in to the finals. Outer Zone 1, absolutely murdering it. Rome was murdering it in practice. I'll be honest with you, when I was watching practice, I was like, yo, I think Rome's going to take this. Then Noback went out there and was like, bro, I'm putting it down. Rome does an amazing job diving back into Outer Zone 2. Noback doing what he needs to be doing, running the same killer lead line, allowing Rome to get close. Rome is a savage, bro. Rome is an absolute savage.
This is what we want to see out of the finals. We're going to see the replay.
Like that goes. Really go into Outer Zone 1. Deep, comes out. Rome taking that appropriate line. That's where you want. I really think anyone who was chasing anyone correctly, this was probably the distance that you would want, because this space allows you to kind of like allow the driver to do the transition, and then the space for you to accelerate and try to get into the pocket, which you can see Rome does a really good job up here. Cuts through, gets back on throttle, looks for the pocket, locks on. Just goes to show you 2 amazing drivers here. Awesome. Really good.
And finishing directly on the side of Noback. That was a dang good run.
You realize that it was a really good run. And that's what you want. 2 straight up drivers going at it. I mean, what more can you want? What more could you want?
Back on the line. This time, Rome Charpentier will lead and Nick Noback will give chase. And away they go. Rome is a rocket ship out of the game.
Rome is
already knew that.
in it to win. Oh, comes out of Outer Zone 1 just a little bit early. Noback, crossover, accelerates, looks for the pocket. Noback was on a mission. He was on a look at that. Look at that. I'm not taking anything away from Rome, but look at that.
Zone number 2 across that inner clip and across
crazy.
into outer zone
Crazy.
Nice
Rome did everything you need to do in the lead run. Everything. But like I said before, Noback had just that little extra.
That's the finals. So I will let
see
you
the
guys
replay
know
here.
If we have a winner, but I will not say who it is.
So you can see Noback. Really good job into Outer Zone 1. Rome, I really like the proximity that Rome has in comparison to Noback. You can see Rome is in Outer Zone 1. He starts to come out, comes out a little bit early. Noback comes out correctly. Him coming out early actually allows Noback to now wait for Rome to transition. And at this point, see, Rome does a really good job of accelerating into the pocket. But that little error allows the space now for Noback to accelerate.
To our organizer of this event,
And
Ryan,
then reel him in
you got
and get right into the pocket. Matching angle on throttle, which is what you want. Rome is doing a good job of almost matching the same angle. Really good proximity though. The way he got to the pocket, Rome I think was a lot better than Noback, but obviously Noback was actually coming from that small little error that Rome had in the beginning. This is to kind of show you guys that those little things at this level matter. You know what I mean? Because these drivers are so skilled that they're going to be able to take advantage of these little things that happen in the heat of the moment.
the results down at the
You can see here Noback doing a really good job matching angle in the pocket. That's what you want, man. You know, Rome doing a good job too, but there's a little bit of a space there.
podium. We already have Robbins in third
Goes
place.
in.
We still have to determine who gets
Going through the pocket. Going through the inner clip. Rome does a really good job allowing the space that is needed. Noback does a really good job. Transition happens. Rome has been doing a really good job in all the transitions. Dives right back into the pocket. But look at Noback here.
who gets
Really calculates well. Like he is close to Rome and he's going to dart into this pocket. Rome does a good job too. Gives him space, allows him to accelerate into the pocket. Nothing wrong with this, but this is that little extra. There's that little sauce.
number 2.
Accelerates right into the pocket again. If he was a little bit closer, that'd be rad. Definitely like the proximity that Rome is at right now.
This run is this could
That's what I'm talking about. I like that. Look at that. Look at Rome. Rome's like, I'm gonna put the heat on. I'm gonna put the heat on before this is over.
easily go one more time. So hang tight for
Awesome.
me here. As soon as we have a decision, I will let you guys know.
Absolutely amazing. Really good run by both. Both guys were absolutely killing it. Everyone was doing an amazing job. I had an absolute blast judging this weekend. An absolute blast. And to watch these guys go at it, look at Noback. Noback is just, he just has those calculations, man. He has those transitions on lock. You know, you look at both runs, both doing a really good job, really good transitions, good timing by Rome. I really like the way Noback was able to reel him in a little bit. Again, that little error that happened in the beginning of Outer Zone 1 is what allowed Noback to take advantage. At least that's what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? That's how I looked at it. You know what I mean? Now,
In the meantime, our
move forward. We looked over the footage, looked at it very well.
First place at the
And like I said, both of the drivers did an amazing job. But Noback just had that little extra better timing, a little bit extra of that transition throughout the entire event. He was absolutely just slaughtering it when it came to, not like he was just out driving everyone. It's just that he had, if you want to call it something, that little X factor. He calculated a little bit better. There was a really good throttle commitment when it came to going into Outer Zone 2, when he was going into all of the inner clips, when he would transition with the correct momentum to go into Outer Zone 3 and then to rock it out. You know what I mean? It was a different line than what Adam LZ was doing in FD. Maybe it's because obviously there are two different cars, two different driving styles, but it was just really cool to see another person do it their way.
Englishtown Riverside Drift 50K
Now,
presented by Link EC.
Also, another thing, we're going to have the three drivers that are up here. We have Alec Robbins, who took third. Alec was killing it. He was number one in qualifying. Definitely got a feel for the track. His Outer Zone 1s were crazy. His Outer Zone 2s were like, there's pictures of him that I found on the internet where he was like up against the barrier and the wall. I mean, like risking the biscuit. I mean, doing everything you needed to be doing. He had just an amazing event. Rome, like I said earlier, I thought he was going to win. Like, Rome was looking so good out there. And the reason I thought he was going to win is because Noback he wasn't practicing. He was just literally chilling next to me in the judges stand, just hanging out, watching videos, kicking it like it was just a regular Saturday. You know what I mean? Like, cool as a cucumber, and then he decides to go out there and start murdering it, and he takes home the win. Absolutely just amazing.
Nick Noback,
Super pumped for this guy.
which means Rome in second place here
to
this
have him out
weekend
here
with
just
you at
absolutely
Englishtown Raceway
just,
Park.
you know, to see someone that I got to spend some time with him when we were over at Drift Week and stuff like that, and just to kind of talk to him and things, and now to see him in FD, see him go through like pro spec, and it's just really cool to see someone kind of progress in that, and now to see him kind of flourish. I think honestly what I think it is, and me and my buddy Reese were talking about it, like Reese was saying, like, yo, I think after he battled James, like he was like, yo, like maybe he's like a different driver. You know what I mean? Because you got to spar with like Ali real quick. You know what I mean? You got to like throw down, and you're like, yo, I can throw down. So maybe he's just going into it a little bit more sauced up, and we're starting to see just, you know, something start to happen here. So super pumped for that. Awesome footage.
Again, we want to thank
Listen, all this footage is really great. See if you guys can like and subscribe. And, you know, have any suggestions, get in the comments, let us know what other videos or what other battles you want us to, or you want me to review. See you next time on The Breakdown.
Sounded good.